Ferrari is setting the stage for a huge comeback at Spa, and their latest upgrade package could be a game-changer. Vers's team is targeting a significant performance boost around 0.3 of a second per lap for the SF-25. But while that might sound like great news, there's a twist. Hamilton and Leclerc have very different takes on the new rear suspension. And that means we could see two completely different weekends for the Ferrari drivers. Will this upgrade finally allow Hamilton to close the gap to the front and become a real threat? Or will it spell trouble for Leclerc, who's been relentlessly asking the team to unlock more potential from the car? Things are getting tense at Ferrari. The 2025 season is becoming more volatile by the day. Some voices within the team are already calling for a full shift of focus to 2026, but not Ver. He's holding firm, convinced that the SF-25 still has more performance left to give. And now, all eyes are on Spa, where Ferrari is bringing a critical upgrade, a completely revised rear suspension. This marks the second time in 2025 that Ferrari is addressing a fundamental flaw that's plagued them since Australia. The buzz around the paddock is that this update could deliver up to 0.3 per lap. Whether that comes through improved race pace or one-lap performance in qualifying remains to be seen. But one thing's clear, this isn't just a routine update. It fits Ferrari's bold development philosophy. When they designed the 2025 car, they made the strategic choice to shift the cockpit rearwards. That adjustment pushed both the fuel tank and engine backward, which in turn created issues with how the rear suspension was behaving. To manage that, Ferrari had to use a rear damper that struggled to fully control the car's movement. While the damper doesn't directly control the rear ride height, it does influence how quickly that height changes, especially when aerodynamic forces, like porpoising, disrupt the car's balance. In fact, that damper plays a crucial role in tuning the frequency of those changes, helping to keep the car stable and reduce the effects of aerostall and reattachment issues that have been persistent all season long. Yes, Ferrari has also tweaked the anti-lift setup on the rear suspension's top wishbone. But honestly, that's expected to deliver little to no noticeable performance gains. So instead of playing it safe, Ferrari is going bold. Their latest strategy aims to keep the rear end planted under braking-boosting stability as the car enters corners. That kind of confidence in turn-in could be crucial. It also suggests something big. Ferrari still believes there's a shot, especially in the Constructors' Championship. Spa could provide all the answers. Have Ferrari truly understood and solved the SF-25's biggest weaknesses? This upgrade is massive. It's targeted. It's strategic. And most importantly, it's an open declaration from Maranello they're not giving up on 2025. Hamilton's pleased to pivot to 2026, not being entertained. And while he's made it clear he thinks this season is a lost cause, that view might just shift after Belgium. Both Leclerc and Hamilton already tested the new rear suspension at Mugello. After clocking 200 kilometers and 19 laps each, the feedback is starting to come in. Hamilton is reportedly feeling more confident in the car, more connected, while Leclerc remains skeptical. He doesn't believe the behavior of the car has changed in any major way. But behind the scenes, there's one name you need to know: Loixer. Ferrari's new technical director, brought in from Mercedes, personally oversaw the test. His verdict? The upgrade is a solid step forward, a clear improvement from where the SF-25 was. This is Ferrari's second major revamp of the season. The first came in Austria, where a floor upgrade allowed the team to finish P3 and P4. Yes, that result was helped by Antonelli and Verstappen retiring, but at Silverstone, we saw something more meaningful, a massive improvement in qualifying pace. If Ferrari can finally string together a perfect lap, they could go toe-to-toe with McLaren and give fans what they've been craving: a real battle in the second half of 2025. But here's the big question: did all of this come just a little too late? Should Ferrari already be shifting full focus to 2026? The stats for Ferrari this season paint a frustrating picture. They have yet to secure a single Grand Prix victory if we set aside Hamilton's sprint win in Shanghai. Ironically, that very race gave Ferrari crucial insights into their ride height issues, after both Hamilton and Leclerc were disqualified due to non-compliance in that area. Now, with the new suspension in play, the hope is that Ferrari can achieve a much broader setup window, making the car far more competitive than what we've seen so far. But the question remains, can we expect an immediate improvement, perhaps as early as Saturday? It's not like Ferrari has had disastrous race pace on Sundays. In fact, they've often been close to McLaren in terms of speed. The real problem has been their inability to close the gap early on. To compensate, they've had to push harder, burning through their tires just to catch the leaders. By the time they were in a position to attack, the tires were already gone. That's why the Spa Grand Prix could be a turning point. Being a sprint weekend, Hamilton will get just 1 hour to test these upgrades before heading into competitive sessions. The pressure is on. Ferrari has to quickly determine if this setup works, or if they need to make major tweaks before qualifying. For Hamilton, one critical issue stands above all else. He's been very vocal about it. We have low-speed understeer, which is inherent with this car. I think we're overdriving to gain that extra bit of time, but on pure pace, the car is as quick as those ahead. We're just pushing too far, which makes the car too peaky. We need to find more performance. And he's not wrong. Reports suggest that, apart from the rear suspension, Ferrari is also working on another area of concern: the power steering system of the SF-25. This upgrade won't arrive in Belgium but is scheduled for Hungary. If nothing else, it's another sign that Ferrari isn't ready to shift focus entirely to 2026. For Hamilton, that might not be the news he wants to hear, especially given his position in the Drivers' Championship. Still, the frustration that both he and Leclerc showed after the Silverstone Grand Prix was enough to push Ferrari's engineers at Maranello to squeeze every ounce of performance possible out of the current car. Hamilton's stance, however, is clear. If I'm honest, I don't know what upgrades we have coming for 2025. We haven't had one for a while. We'll keep pushing with what we have, but soon I'll be saying, let's focus on next year. This year, we're building the foundation, learning, the tools, the structures, the process, so when we arrive next year, we'll have the car we really want. Next year's championship is open. This one is going to be much harder to win, but it's not completely closed. His words make one thing clear. Both Hamilton and Ferrari might already be leaning toward 2026, even if they're not openly waving the white flag just yet. Frédéric Vasseur, for his part, insists that a series of upgrades are still in the pipeline. Yet Ferrari's approach, waiting to fully understand the car before making big changes, has cost them valuable time this season. The real test will come in 2026. Who will rise to the top once the car becomes truly competitive? Hamilton is currently trailing Leclerc, but his pace and understanding of the SF-25 are improving. The question is, will it be enough to challenge Leclerc, the driver many believe will finally bring Ferrari another championship, a feat not achieved since Kimi Räikkönen? For now, all we can do is wait for Spa and see whether this highly anticipated rear suspension upgrade delivers the promised 0.3 of a second. Could this be the breakthrough Ferrari needs to turn the second half of 2025 in their favor and start challenging the McLarens? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Ferrari's upgrades will be enough to bring them back into the fight? And while you're at it, don't forget to click on the video that's on your screen right now.